Sue Himmelrich is a planning commissioner and public interest lawyer who has lived in Santa Monica for 22 years.
Hi, and welcome to Meet the Candidates. I'm Sandy Jacobson. We're speaking now with Sue Himmelrich. Thanks for coming, Sue.
Thanks for having me, Sandy.
Let's talk about development. If elected, how would you decide which development agreements you would support? What would be your criteria?
Well, luckily I have a little experience in that, having been on the Planning Commission for the last couple of years, and all we see really that's over 7,500 square feet is a development agreement. So let me start by explaining. Development agreements in our ideal world under our LUCE, which was adopted in 2010.
And LUCE is?
Land Use and Circulation Element,
Thank
part
you.
of our general plan. And under our LUCE, only the largest and most intense developments become development agreements. We have three tiers: Tier 1, which is 32 feet, Tier 2, and then Tier 3. Development agreements are only for Tier 3. And in order to get that kind of intense and dense use, the developer is supposed to, in return, give us fantastic community benefits, including affordable housing, open space, community space, and other things that are good for us. So for the big profit, they give us something back. And I would only approve those. They would have to have more affordable housing and more community benefits and iconic architecture.
Mm-hmm. Like you would say Frank Gehry or something like that.
Yes, Frank Gehry, and we've seen some better architecture of late, but this is really supposed to be only the most special.
Let's talk about transportation. Bus fares for senior citizens have doubled in the recent years, and yet we know that isolation is a terrible problem for seniors, and the bus is sometimes their only opportunity for mobility. How can we enhance their mobility and access to activities?
Well, I don't know why we can't give our seniors bus passes. There are not so many of them, and there's no reason, if we really want to make a significant difference in their lives, that they shouldn't just have bus passes. It will cost us little relative to the benefit that they'll get. That's number one. Number two, we do have paratransit services where you can call and they will pick you up and take you somewhere and pick you up.
Not just a doctor's appointment?
Not just a doctor's appointment, to court, to various different places. The problem is that they are notoriously unreliable. So they're an hour late. You can't be an hour late to court, you know, and if you're an hour late to the doctor, good luck. And so I believe we need more shuttles like that for the seniors. I see that some of the residences for seniors have their own, but I think we could have a more active shuttle program.
Riding bikes on the street is unsafe for 14 years old and younger, kids that age. Should we let them ride on the sidewalk, do you think?
It's funny you say it's unsafe. A few years ago, I had an office on 4th Street right above the Border Grill. And I would bike there, and I felt as if I was taking my life in my hands every time I went. Since that time, and particularly with the new 3-foot rule, I think that it is safer.
What is a 3-foot rule?
It just went through yesterday. So as of yesterday in California, each car needs to give each bike a 3-foot leeway.
Side to side?
Yes, it needs to be 3 feet away from all bikers. Now, how that will be enforced is a little unclear, but in any case, so that should make it safer. One of the things that I find appalling, though, is I see kids riding to school all the time who aren't wearing helmets, and how can that be? So I'm not sure it is unsafe for kids who are under 14. I think that we need to make sure we have adequate bike lanes. The kids are riding in the bike lanes and they're wearing helmets.
Right. Let's talk about affordable housing. What should be the focus of deed-restricted affordable housing? Should it be family housing, seniors, housing for those with disabilities, entry-level housing? What should be our focus?
Well, so affordable housing is almost never entry-level housing per se. So in my belief, it should be for families, because families make up the fabric of our community. If we don't have families living in Santa Monica, we don't need our fantastic schools. We don't need our fantastic parks. We need to have families in Santa Monica, or Santa Monica will simply be a playground for the 1%, and that's what worries me, that that's what we'll become. So I think that there should be a big emphasis on family housing at all affordability levels. I also think that we need to house our seniors so they can age in place. I'm a believer in that as well.
Thank you very much, Sue.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thanks for joining us. Check out the other Meet the Candidate interviews on smvote.org. Bye for now.